Hi everyone, welcome to my video. I hope you're all having a great weekend and I hope you're going to have a great week as well. Today we're going to talk about morphology and vocabulary development. So let's get right into it. So, to start, what is vocabulary? Burns and Wasik define vocabulary as the collection of pairings between meanings and spoken words is someone's vocabulary. This means that vocabulary is as making a connection between a spoken word or words and a meaning. Burns and Wasik also explain numerous reasons as to why teachers should care about the development of vocabulary, such as children who enter first grade with larger spoken vocabularies are often the ones who score highest on reading achievements tests at the end of first grade. To me, this means that the earlier children start saying their first words, the more achievements they will make in school. But this is not always the case. All students learn at different paces, and that's totally okay. There are also notable age trends in vocabulary development that includes children's first words are appearing around 12 months of age, and by the time children are in first grade, they have 10,000 words in their vocabularies. That's a lot of words. Word learning then continues at a faster pace at age 3 and then slows down after age 12. And by this point, you're learning complicated words and different ways to say the words you already know. And finally, if someone has a limited vocabulary, it can be essentially impossible to become a skilled reader, regardless of why the student has a small vocabulary. Next, what are some implications of home language practices and exposure on academic achievement? So we know that a lot of learning happens at home as well as in school. One example of implications of home language practices and exposure on academic achievement is simply teaching children new words. Hart and Riesli felt they could increase the size of children's vocabulary by teaching them new words. In order to make that work, parents must practice vocabulary with their children daily in order for this knowledge to stick. Another example of an implication of home language practices is to have students understand the basic building blocks of words, also known as morphemes. Barry explained that morphemes are used over and over again in different combinations to make up the vocabulary of a language. When we are able to understand the basic building blocks of words, then you have the capability to understand more words. These two examples do not just have to be implicated into home practice, but teachers can do this as well. So this takes me into how teachers can help to lessen the gap. Based on the article by Hart and Riesli, we have to take early intervention and equalize children's early experiences. Hart and Riesli looked into different families with different amounts of income. Children in families on welfare had smaller vocabularies compared to children of the same age in professional families. Children have to have equal early experiences so that no child falls behind in building their vocabulary. Lessons should be built on the study of word construction, also known as morphology. If students learn the building blocks of words, their sounds and meanings, they will be able to build their vocabulary and understand the meanings of words. Finally, we have to teach our children and students very interesting and sophisticated words. If students start to speak and understand sophisticated words, then people would not think to be a part of a young student's vocabulary. It will be a great way to get students excited about learning vocabulary. And now, how does morphology foster vocabulary? So, what are morphemes? As I previously stated in this presentation, morphemes are the basic building blocks of words. If a child understands what each building block of each word means, then their vocabulary will grow. Learning the building blocks of words can help students understand why a word sounds the way it does and is put together the way it is. Barry also explained that morphology may seem a rather straightforward and simple part of a language. Just learn the parts and put them together to make words. But is not always that simple. Remember that all languages have restrictions on what students are allowed to occur in sequence. And students' understanding of morphology was a better predictor of reading comprehensions than their vocabulary level. That's the end of my video. I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye!